Hey everybody, I hope everyone is having a thriving week. Welcome back. I thank you all for taking the time out of your busy week. Hopefully, it's busy for you to stop in and listen to this video. So, I know this video has been done over and over again, and I have mentioned in the past that one thing I don't want to keep doing when I get on here is telling you all the same information that you can easily find that's already floating around out here in regards to being a notary signing agent. So that's why my videos will be few and far apart. But sometimes individuals in the comment section may ask certain questions. And because it is you all who make this channel, I don't want to ignore those questions. So this is actually a video that someone requested. And I'm going to do my best to break down what I believe that I personally need when I'm out here as a notary signing agent. And these items may not be for everyone. Everyone may not go this route. I completely understand that. If you want to leave what you keep with you, what materials you feel a notary signing agent needs to start, please feel free to leave that in the comment section. If you disagree with anything that I say or agree, leave that in the comment section as well. So here is my list. So let's get started. So, in regards to some of the materials that a notary signing agent needs, in my opinion, of course, you're going to need a computer, you're going to need internet access. All these things, you should have in your possession at home and should be secure for you to be able to print out the documents for your clients. However, you're also going to need a printer. This has been like a hot topic, especially under some of my videos, because I did my first assignment with an inkjet computer, but it is I guess, a well-known thing in the notary world that a notary signing agent needs a laser printer, or is preferred that a notary signing agent has a laser printer. And companies can often prefer it as well. Or the companies that we work with may prefer them. So just so you know, I did my first assignment with an inkjet computer, but when I did purchase my laser printer, I quickly learned the difference. With my inkjet printer, when documents would print out and I would touch them, the ink would smear. But with my laser printer, when documents print out and I go to touch them, the paper is really warm for one, but also the ink on the paper is already dry and it seems to come out with a great finish. However, I am currently having some issues with this black dotted line running alongside of the right side of my paper. I don't know what that's all about. That's something new for me. Didn't have that issue with my inkjet, so I assume this is a laser issue and I'm going to look further into it. But so it is preferred that one has a laser printer for this industry. Also, you will need paper, of course, to even print on. You will also need possibly sticky tabs. Now, the reason why I want to say possibly with an asterisk is because of the fact that I've also heard individuals go, no, we don't do to sticky tabs anymore. And I believe that is one's preference. You would know ultimately what works best for you. When I first started as a notary signing agent, I saw many individuals recommending newbies to use things like sticky tabs so that they don't miss signature areas and initial areas. And I'm pretty certain, okay, to an extent, I'm pretty certain that the more assignments one carries out and the different documents that one encounters, they will begin to no longer need sticky tabs because they'll be very familiar with the many varieties of these type of mortgages and partial claims and whatever else there are out here. They'll be very familiar with these kind of documents, and they won't no longer have to rely on sticky tabs. However, in my opinion, I truly believe, especially for newbies, those sticky tabs does come in handy, but it's according to your preference. I'm just putting it out there. Next will be a planner. In my opinion, a planner really helps. Yeah, you can put it in your phone, but what happens if your phone die? So I truly am someone who believes in having a hard copy of everything, just about. And a planner, in my opinion, a physical paper planner helps, so that way you can keep up with your assignments as well. But there's nothing with backing it up electronically too. So that's kind of some of the items indoor. Here are some of the materials you'll need outdoor. Of course, you're going to need a vehicle. Now, I want to, again, put an asterisk by that. Of course, you're going to need a vehicle, because if you don't have one of your own and you know someone that would allow you to use theirs, and you feel like that promise to use theirs is reliable, then go ahead and do what you have to do. You got to make money some kind of way to be able to get to the point where you can purchase your own vehicle. Totally up to you. So that's why I want to, just kind of be careful how I say you're going to need your own vehicle, because I'm not going to sit here and pretend like that's the case for everyone and that everyone automatically just has their their own vehicle. It takes money, okay, to get these things too. So, you have to start somewhere. Now, do I recommend any other route of transportation like taxi or public transportation? Personally, no. But at the same time, again, if you're someone who's been managing to do so, everyone's situation is not the same. Not to mention, you may live in a climate where, or an environment where you have better seasons and you're able to maneuver outside, maybe on a bike or maybe on something, whatever it is that gets you where you have to be, and you can still get there on time. You have what you need. I don't know, it's up to you. And that's why I say, like, to each their own, because again, I took what I had and I worked with it, not necessarily in terms of a vehicle, but just thinking about the things that people say, oh, you have to have this when you start, or you have to have that when you start, and you're able to find an alternative that doesn't necessarily fall in line with the majority what they say you should have. I know that to be, something that is possible from firsthand experience. So that's why I have to put my little asterisks here and there. So moving on, you also want to make sure you have gas and insurance for that vehicle. Moving on, you're going to need some sort of navigation system, whether it's a GPS or a cell phone. You definitely want to have something, because as a notary signing agent, not only will you find yourself going outside of your city, you may even find yourself going outside of your county and many, many miles away. And if you don't know where you're headed, chances are you'll arrive there late or maybe never arrive there at all. So you definitely want to have some sort of navigation system. Now, a phone in general is important, because there may be times where the company that has contracted you wants you to take pictures of the signer's ID or driver's license. So that is very important that you have a phone that is fully charged and ready to go. Even data, helps as well. Also, with that phone, you may even need to call that company, that escrow company, or whoever contracted you, or whoever you've been dealing with for the entire assignment. You may have to call them with any inquiries that you may have when it comes to the paperwork, even on site. So it definitely helps to have a phone that is active and has data on there. It doesn't have to be the most expensive phone in the world, because trust me, mine is not. However, you just want to be able to have those basic capabilities. Also, you may need a notary bag. Now, I believe on my first assignment, I didn't have anything fancy, but I don't remember what I had. But I do know eventually I ended up having my sister's laptop bag because she let me borrow it. I tried to give it back, but she won't take it back. So that's a whole nother story. But when I first was researching notary bags, I saw the prices and I was like, whoa, I'm just starting off. I'm not able to get that right now. But I quickly discovered a bag is a bag. And I get it though, with the notary bags that are being made now. It's more about security rather than just having a bag. And it is important to keep your items safe, especially if you're talking about your notary stamp. So I can understand investing in some of these more higher end notary bags that provide security, have some sort of security feature on there. I can understand that because you're attempting to keep your items safe from theft. So I can understand that. But if you're talking about just starting off, having just some way to carry your items, and I use personally a 15-inch, or I don't know if it's 15 or 20 inches laptop bag that is able to fit like my documents and my notary stamp and paperwork, file folders and stuff in it. I literally just use that. Now, eventually I will like to upgrade, but for now, it's about making money and not necessarily spending out more money. And because it was a gift, I didn't have to pay for it, so I'm going to use it. You also want, of course, your notary stamp. Definitely want to have that with you, because if you don't and you go all the way out to that assignment, that is tragic. I almost forgot to mention, you also want to make sure you have your notary journal. You want to make sure that you have your own materials as far as pens go. Also, you want to have your ID or driver's license. Now, I've heard some controversy surrounding this topic, because I think I've mentioned this before in regards to the fact that training told me, okay, the training I went through, the NNA, said that, you want to show out of professionalism your identification to the signer so they can know who they're interacting with. And then someone rebutted back that they don't feel comfortable with that. I don't blame them at all. You have a lot of precious things on your ID. I don't blame you. That could be an issue. It's going to have to be ultimately up to you. It's going to have to be ultimately up to you as the notary signing agent, and you're just going to have to be prepared to deal with that signer's response should you refuse to show your ID or driver's license. I personally have business cards with my image on there, so I one day want to try that out, like try to see if someone asks for me for my identification. I go, hey, or not even wait till they ask, just go kind of like flash my business card or pass off my business card so that they can see not only is it me, but my image is on there as well. I get it. It's not not as official as a driver's license or an ID, but it's nothing wrong with giving it a try, right? Just be prepared for any consequences that come along with denying that request. Moving on, you also want to have file folders. I mentioned this earlier in regards to what I keep in my notary bag. It's up to you. Again, these things that I'm mentioning, this is what works for me. It may not necessarily work for you. The reason why I keep file folders is it helps me with my organization, especially when it comes to the papers that I print out for to be signed. It just helps with my organization. So that's why I keep file folders in my notary bag. Also, notary verbiage. This is good for newbies, not necessarily for those who are more seasoned. Perhaps if you're when you become more seasoned, or if you are already more seasoned, you don't need notary verbiage. You don't need to carry around a script with you because you already know in your head what to say. You've done this over and over. Repetition is key. But for if you're a newbie, me personally, what I like to do is just have like either index cards. Yeah, it seems janky, but listen, at least I'm getting it right, okay? I'm not worried about looking janky. I'm worried about being accurate. And I either have index cards or sticky notepads attached to certain documents where I know I have to explain to the signer what the documents are that they are signing. Not necessarily in depth, but if you went through your training, do you understand what I mean when it comes to notary verbiage and your script? So you definitely want to have that so that way you'll be able to explain whatever it is you need to explain, not necessarily in depth, to your signer. Also, notary laws. Sometimes it helps. You may forget, while you're with your signer, and maybe something is being requested of you, or you may have a question that comes up and can't remember what the heck you were trained. Sometimes it helps to have those notary laws with you. No one says you have to whip them out while you're sitting in front of your client. Maybe it's while you're on your way to see your client. It kind of hits you like, oh man, I can't remember. Am I allowed to do that? Am I allowed to say that? Perhaps once you arrive to your client's destination, you can stop and kind of look over those notary laws to answer that question. However, if you are a National Notary Association member, you can actually call them up, as long as it's within their hours of operation, and ask them that very same question and they'll answer it. Or if you have a notary mentor, a notary signing agent mentor, then you should have access to them to be able to ask that question too. So it's either or. I personally prefer to travel with my notary laws just as a backup. Now, you also want to keep a copy of your notary oath. Again, this is more for newbies, but there is times where you may have to deliver an oath. You may have to deliver that oath to a signer. And I don't know if I'm the only one, but I just can't seem to, or I haven't. Let me not say I can't. I have yet to memorize that notary oath. Do you solemnly swear or do you solemnly affirm? I have yet to fully memorize that. So I literally keep a copy of that in my documents. And also I make note of whether or not I have to deliver that oath in the paperwork. So that way I can already have the script ready to ask that or deliver that oath to the individual. You also want to have business cards. This is optional. I didn't know my first assignment. I had no business cards. I just have some now. But if you have business cards, you want to have them. Now, let me tell y'all something. National Notary Association is who I did my training with. They said in their training, from what I can remember, that we were not to be going around giving folks business cards. I was even then I was confused about that. Like, why? I'm building a business. Like, how are you going to tell me? But I suppose the reasons, in my opinion, I feel like it's because they don't want us taking away work from what are these people called, these third party platforms like SnapDocs, etc. Like, they still want agents to sign up with these companies, but if you go direct, you start handing out business cards, then there would really be a decrease in the need for those companies. In my opinion, I don't think that's true. I think there's still going to be plenty of people that are dependent on third party platforms for notary signing agent work, but that's just my theory. So some trainings may frown upon passing out your business cards during these particular kind of transactions. My training was one of them, but I still would say, just for me, you make your own decision. I'm keeping my business cards with me, okay? Also, you want to have proper attire. I don't even like that word proper, but I do understand in the context of being a notary signing agent what it means. You know, if you are walking around building your brand, building your business, you want to present yourself out here accordingly. So you definitely want to be mindful of how you are presenting yourself, how you are dressed, how, you know, your hygiene, even your attitude, even that is all a part of your attire. So you definitely want to be aware of those things. And nowadays, you want to have a mask. They used to say carry mints. Well, a mask may prevent you from needing a mint, to be honest. But there's nothing wrong with carrying both a mask and a mint. So you definitely want to have those items too. I also want to say if you do go with the route of keeping sticky tabs, or even sticky notes or whatever on your documents, have something to dispose them in. For example, I kept a Ziploc bag with me, so I was able to take the sticky notes or sticky tabs off of the document and just stick them into the Ziploc bag, so I wouldn't be making a mess, not only in the presence of the signer and on their property, but you know, not even in my bag. Like I would just stick them straight into the Ziploc bag just to maintain some sort of neatness. Uh, Here's another one. I'm not sure how many people mention this in their videos when they discuss the material that a notary signing agent will need. I personally feel like safety is important. You know, we can get caught up on professionalism, we can get caught up on the work, and all of that is important. But my safety is important too, as a notary signing agent that has to go in the presence of individuals I never even met, I don't know, sometimes in their home, sometimes not. My safety matters as well, and I'm not sitting that aside for anyone. So you just definitely want to be aware of your surroundings, aware of where you are, and if possible, know some self-defense techniques or, you know, carry some pepper spray, but definitely keep yourself safe. You know, we talked about a positive attitude also towards, like, you know, the ending of your assignment. Some assignments you may have to provide a scan back. You may have to provide a certain documents right away to the company that contracted you, and you're going to have the ability to scan back. There are videos out here that go more in depth about scan backs, and I believe Kendra with Signing Agent Basics, in my opinion, she does one of the best jobs with breaking down the equipment needed to scan back. So I would definitely recommend that and leave that video in link in the description box. I also learned quickly that you want to know how you're supposed to deliver the documents back to the contracting company. So outside of the scan backs, you want to know, you want to be able to have the material you need to send the documents back to that company that contracted you in the first place. For example, FedEx. You know, for me personally, the assignment required a FedEx sending the documents back via FedEx, and I was even given the shipping label by the company. So I quickly discovered that it's good to have FedEx folders on hands, just so that way I could prepare the FedEx folder prior to even getting to the FedEx office or even in the parking lot of the FedEx location. So that way I can prepare the documents, put them in the FedEx folder, and go inside and have them sent back to where they came from. And again, it's just good to have extra FedEx folders. They're free. As far as I know, I did receive mine for free. So, as far as I know, they are free. Also, you want to have the location of the FedEx office. Now, this isn't necessarily a material, but you do want to be aware of your FedEx locations, as well as drop boxes. You know, FedEx location office preferably, if you're out there completing an assignment during a time that a FedEx office would even be open, or you want access to a FedEx drop box if you are out and about during a time where a FedEx office is no longer open. So that is it. I really hope that this video manages to help someone out there, especially the newbies out there. But again, I do understand there are a ton of these videos out here like this. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Let me know if you have anything to add. Let me know if you have anything that may work better than what I mentioned in the video. And again, I hope this helps. Thank you all as usual, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.